everybody. Welcome back to the Top Tier Podcast. My name is Poppy. This was a big week. I mean, pop culture, Marvel dudes, we ate this week. Indiana Jones dudes, y'all been dead, starving. But y'all ate this week. Y'all ate this week for after a long time. What else did we get? You know, Avatar guys, that's coming out. We're not talking about that, but I just want to shout out the blue people. Y'all been starving for over a decade.
Bro, we ready, bro. We ready.
Guardians of the Galaxy, y'all. Hey, I just said Marvel. So yeah, man, we got topics today. We don't even have to talk about Kanye. Y'all already know. We're gonna give our take on it, but y'all already know. We still gonna get in on it. We don't even have to talk about what he did because y'all already know. We're just getting our take. We got a lot of topics, man. We talking about Saweetie. We talking about California reparations. Talking about Boosie's take on Jay-Z. We got topics today. Because it seems like everybody's giving takes on OG rappers. It's the same to me. It's the same thing as when who commented on Nas?
21 fucking Savage.
Yeah, it's like Boosie ain't shit. What kind of rap history book is Boosie? What kind of pages is Boosie gonna take up in the rap history book?
I don't know. I know he's not relevant either.
Boosie might barely is also barely gonna get a mention.
I know, because I don't think Boosie really knows what he's talking about.
Boosie, to me, is just another one of them class clown type of dudes. They stay famous by just talking shit and just like being controversial.
I know, bro.
Kind of like with like Blueface and Blueface is now. Like they just stay in the media for doing dumb shit.
What a comp. Boosie is Blueface, or if Blueface is like Boosie,
he's like an older. He's like Blueface is like a younger Boosie.
Oh my goodness.
In terms of like these guys ain't making no relevant music. They're just like has been dudes just talking.
Oh my goodness. Talking about has-beens, Kanye West.
Kanye is like the epitome of washed up.
Goodbye, Kanye West. Goodbye, Kanye West. It's beyond washed up at this point.
At this point, it's sad because at this point, people are literally laughing and waiting for like a mentally ill man to be like a class clown for the week.
God damn it.
That's real though. I don't think people are like tuning into Kanye
right
for any other reason.
I'm not fucking laughing.
Now. I don't think anybody's laughing now. But leading up to this, people egged him on because it's like, oh, Kanye's back on Twitter. Let's see what antics he's up to now.
Actually, I changed my mind. I am laughing at this motherfucker. You know why? Because this motherfucker has been cucked so many times in the public. Chris Paul, out of all the niggas, Chris Paul. I got nothing against Chris Paul. Love Chris Paul. Maybe the top 5 point guard, maybe a top 5 point guard of all time. But Chris Paul, nigga. Pete Davidson, nigga.
For those who don't know.
How do you not know?
Preface it. Okay. Well, we're going to assume some people live under a rock.
Okay.
Kanye went on several antics. I mean, there's several different topics to talk about here about Kanye, even though it's one big Kanye topic.
More than I care to talk about.
One of his antics this week is that one of his Twitter rants, when he got back on Twitter, Elon brought him back, and he went on a Twitter rant about a whole bunch of different things. But this one was that he said one last thing. I caught Kim with what's his name?
Chris Paul. Nigga said it was Cliff Paul. It wasn't Chris, it was Cliff. I
caught Kim with Chris Paul.
Oh my goodness, bro.
I just out of nowhere, just completely out of nowhere, the internet just went to an uproar.
And you said you didn't believe it.
You know, I mean, I believed it, and then I didn't believe it, and now I'm kind of 50-50.
Because TMZ
people, at first,
the TMZ people came out and they were like, we've found sources close to Chris Paul, close to Kim Kardashian, and they say that there was nothing that happened. Of course, there's nothing that happened.
How do you know they're not lying? One, how do you know they're not lying?
Yeah.
And two, how do you know that wasn't just a thing that Kim, Chris, and Kanye all knew about directly?
Oh my God.
And then it's
just like this nigga has been cucked so many times, so it makes sense that right now he's just playing to that cuck, like
revenge of the cucks,
right? Like all the
Elliot
way over
Rodgers
there,
type
like
energy.
incelish guys all the way over there. That's who. So when he's running for president, those are the people. That's the base that he wants people to vote for him.
Nobody's voting for Kanye.
But that's who he's going after. That has to be who he's going after. He's been hanging out with Nick Fuentes. These are young guys. They said that he's going to go on an interview with some guy. I don't even know who this guy is. Some YouTuber, live streamer, what's his name? Aiden Ross. Come on, man. These are like really young. I mean, I don't know about Aiden Ross per se, but Nick Fuentes, we know about Nick Fuentes and his background, what he stands for. I mean, these guys are, he was on Alex Jones podcast, for God's sake. Like, he's all the way over there trying to get that type of base, and it's not going to work. They changed his Reddit. Man. You see, they changed his Reddit to a Holocaust truthing Reddit now.
Oh my God!
I'm pretty sure they're like making donations and everything in that Reddit. Like he's turned everybody against him, and I'm fine with it. I'm fine.
I mean, I've been, to be honest with y'all, like I like watching his antics. I kind of like, I don't really listen to his music like that, other than like his older music, like pre-Ye, or what Yeezus. It wasn't Yeezus, pre-Ye. He didn't have at least an album called Ye?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
2018,
pre-Ye is what I listen to.
2017, somewhere around.
I don't really listen to that anymore, but like Kanye is always, and his recent stuff has been kind of whatever to me. I don't really listen to it, but what I've heard is whatever. But like, I've been done with Kanye since slavery was a choice.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
People still buying Yeezys and people still buying his merch and still fanboying. I don't get it, man.
He was dressed selling merch out of his like
being
little
anti-black,
warehouse or something.
And I can't deal with you, man.
Yeah, exactly. He was just selling merch out of some little warehouse. He said he sold like $20 pieces. Sold over $1,000 worth of merch though. Like, who's actually still going and buying this guy's merch? I don't care if it's resale value. I don't care.
It's a lot of people, man. I mean, Yeezys are like, I don't get it. I mean, like on some level, at one point I thought they were cool, but I never actually was gonna buy them. But now I'm like, you're just supporting a jackass. You're just supporting a mentally ill man who's just
word to Obama.
Has too much money and is just out of his mind.
Yeah, it's really sad. So this guy went on Alex Jones' podcast, said what he said, not going to repeat it here. I'm not getting our video taken down, trying to repeat what Kanye West bum ass is talking about. Hell no. People know what he said. And then after that, went even further as to put out a campaign symbol that involved the swastika.
Which is like wild. He's like, wasn't it like a Star of David inside of a...
He's trying to do like this all love type of thing, but that's not what we're fucking with right now, Kanye West. You're talking about trying to pile Hitler and like the worst people on earth right now, like all these alt-right dudes. You're trying to combine all this and Nazis and all this type of stuff into humanity. Sure, they're all humans, sure, whatever. But there's not love associated with anything around the Nazi movement. So what are you talking about?
Not even a little bit.
What
like,
are you talking
seeing the
about?
good in, like, I kind of get what he's saying, right? Because you can always say, like, even the worst people. I've seen people say, like, even the most evilest people ever, if you got to know them, have a good trait.
Erykah Badu.
You can see somebody who's like, yeah. But, like, with Hitler, though, that's common sense. Like,
I just don't know why you would try to sympathize with a Hitler.
You're not going to go to the Congo and tell people in the Congo, you know what? Leopold actually was nice. He actually liked animals.
Doesn't make any sense.
And Leopold killed hundreds and pretty sure it was like 80, 90, 100 million Congolese people.
Yeah.
Mutilate men, women, children, cut their hands off, murdered people if they didn't meet a quota for the day, murdered their family members. What would I look like going to the Congo and telling them, you know what? Well, Leopold actually wasn't that bad of a guy. You know, he actually had some good traits. Like,
it's not going to work well. It's not going to work well.
I mean, you can say, listen, I'm not telling what you can and can't say, right? I said it last week. I'm not telling what you can and can't say. Freedom of speech. But it's not freedom from consequence. People can get in your ass, especially people who are very affected by the people you're bigging up.
Yeah.
Or you're defending on any kind of way. Because their actions so reprehensible, they don't want to hear them associated with a good light. And I agree. But I'm not gonna tell you what you can and can't do.
No. If
people are gonna get in your ass.
Yeah. If he wants to basically tie some stones around his ankles and dive on the deep end of the ocean, sure, go for it. If you want to drown, nigga, go ahead. I'm not gonna stop you. I'm not gonna stop you at all. And then on top of that, maybe this is a little bit of karma that was due to him, $200,000 worth of child support payments to do. I don't know if he agreed to that or if that was a court decision. I don't know. That sounds like a lot of money. It's a lot of money, bro. $200,000. And he's the brokest one right now out of the couple. Kim
Which
Kardashian
is like wild to me.
Probably,
like, shouldn't she be paying? Well, she's going to have custody, no doubt. So I guess that doesn't exactly work. What about alimony?
No, there was no alimony. It was just child support. It was just child support.
I don't know why she needs child support and she's a billionaire. Kanye's not a billionaire anymore, according to the media.
I don't know. He probably agreed to it, dude. It probably was his... Because you would want to pay for your children,
Agree for what?
Because you want to pay for your children.
But why... if you and your wife are both extremely rich, what is that changing? What that $200K, what is that actually going to?
That's your responsibility.
Why do I need to be responsible? She's a billionaire. Let's say we both billionaires. What the fuck do I need to pay child support for?
They're your kids.
But child support.
I know what you're saying because you're
saying it on principle. You're saying on principle,
yes,
pay child support.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if both parties are obscenely rich, it doesn't even make sense.
You're saying they don't need quote unquote support at that point?
They don't. She doesn't need support. She's a millionaire.
I mean,
she can raise their 4 or 5 children with absolute ease, monetarily.
You could back up off the
saying financially. Yeah, she's raising.
I definitely see what you're saying, but at the same time, like, we're not married, haven't been, don't have children, so we're not coming from experience. We're just going off of hearsay, basically. But with this circumstance, like, as a man, as a father, your responsibility is to provide for your kids in any way possible. So if this is the way that he feels like he's able to be responsible for them and protect them and take care of them is by, while they're with Kim, to give Kim, like, the $200K or whatever a month, then that's what he decided to do. I don't see any problem with that. You don't like the number. It seems like you don't like the number.
It's not even a number. My mentality is, why are the courts involved in it?
I don't know if the courts are involved. I don't know.
Because Kanye can give her $200K a month just as a father.
Did they say that it was a court? That was a court decision?
Well, I mean, they're saying anything child support related is a court decision. Now, if he's just giving her $200K for his children, if he's giving, then the way they're framing it makes it sound like that.
Of course, they're going to frame it that way. But maybe that is the case. I didn't see that it was a court decision, nor did I see it was a decision that they made amicably. But most of the times, a lot of these decisions are dealt with from, individual to individual. They don't always have to go through the court. The whole, marriage story, it's not going to be this whole big deal most of the time. I don't think a lot of people want to go through that. And I'm sure that these two individuals, they probably didn't need, because there's already so much money involved. I'm sure they can settle on some. Here, just fucking take the $200K. I'm sure that that's how it went down. But what do we know? We're just speaking off of hearsay, like I said. Do you have anything else? I thought we were going to get in his ass a little bit more about the Nazis, the swastika.
Well, we just kind of broke it down. We didn't really go super deep on it. But what I will say is just like, I guess, what else is there really to say? I mean, we're seeing a mentally ill man having an episode, and he surrounded himself around racist opportunists. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know what, I guess I thought I would have more to say, but I'm like, we're watching a mentally ill man kind of just like go through the motions, having an episode. Like,
yeah, it's probably like you said, there's really no more that needs to be said. I mean, it doesn't matter like what group you're coming from. If you're black, Kanye West does not stand for you. Proven. If you are Jewish, Kanye West does not stand for you. Proven. If you are anybody with, I don't know, a moral compass, Kanye West does not stand for you, bro. So we all need to hop off of Kanye's dick. I don't want to see nobody. I mean, you could do what you want, but I don't want to personally see nobody rocking any Yeezy apparel, celebrating this man at all. And people are getting in our comments with some of the things that we've said recently about questioning whether or not we should even be a fan, whether or not we should be buying his product, things of that nature. And
we had a lot of drones.
I'm sure that you guys, I hope that you guys have changed your minds after the most recent. I mean, we've covered the allegations, bro. It doesn't need, like, the list goes on, bro. So for y'all to be out there talking about how we need to separate the art from the artist, I understand the precedent of that, the concept. But with certain niggas, like, we're not going to be reading Adolf Hitler's books and literature just talking about, like, he was like, you know what I mean?
This is my problem with separate the art from the artist, right?
Sure.
Because you have a dude who's imagine just a random guy who's a straight up Nazi, but he makes fire ass shoes. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, you can still buy his shoes. So you're going to support a guy who actively supports the death of anyone who's not like him.
Period.
Just because he makes some fire ass shit. That doesn't even sound right to me.
It doesn't. Because all that means is that you're supporting whatever this man or the person in your example, whatever that person stands for.
And you're empowering them financially to carry out the things that they believe in.
Yes.
To a certain degree. Whether that's supporting a politician who also does, or whatever else it means.
Yes. And people are going to see you representing that individual and say the same exact thing. So you also have to worry about other people's perceptions. I know we shouldn't really give a fuck about other people's opinions of us or anything, but if that's not you, is what I'm saying. If that's not what you represent, but you're seen wearing that Yeezy, you're seen wearing those Yeezy pieces of clothing, people, I mean, at least myself and others, I'm sure others will as well, look at you in a different type of way, man. Like, that's no different. To me, that's no different than you walking around with, like, some type of, like, blackface on. It's just a different symbol.
Why did it take now? And I'm even
he's
guilty
crazy
of this.
now,
You know,
bro.
I didn't support Kanye. Like, I thought he was a coon. But I still would tune in. I still would see what he said. I was still like, he might have a point on this.
Yeah.
All the way leading up to the last recent months.
Yeah.
But, like, even though I still didn't support him financially for anything.
Mm-hmm.
But why did it take so long, and I'm guilty of this as well, to completely be like, this dude is, we've literally been enabling a sick man.
Well, for me personally,
Even by just paying attention to him.
For me personally, I'll get a little bit into my personal. I thought that Kanye West was like probably the most creative genius on earth. And for that reason, I was a fan. Loved his music, loved the designs, all that shit, right? But for me, because I wasn't completely off board. I'm gonna be completely honest. I wasn't completely off board when he said the slavery was a choice thing. I really tried to see what he was talking about. I listened for the apology. I did. I'm serious. I listened to the interviews. I watched it. I tried to justify it all. Then the Donald Trump thing happened. I still wasn't completely off board. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
That was when I was really kind of like done with him. But like I said, I still would tune in and kind of see what he was doing.
Yeah. That's when I was like, let me separate the art from the artist. Now that's when I got to that point where it's like, okay, like, because I don't think that just being a Donald Trump supporter makes you completely evil to where I just can't support anything that you're doing. I just can't rock with you at all. I don't think so. Not just off of that alone. It needs to be more.
Manga hats were a little extra, bro. I'm sorry. Like
But he was doing it. We know why he was doing it. He explained it. We don't have to get into all that. I'm just walking you through the timeline of just how I felt as all these things were unfolding. And then come some years later, he starts doing the gospel thing. And I'm like, okay, like he's preaching love and he's preaching acceptance and all this stuff. And I'm like, wow, like this guy is actually trying to make some type of political movement. And then as of recently, bro, he's just been preaching a bunch of hate and hanging with people that are preaching a bunch of hate. So
hanging with people who are known evil.
That's straight up evil came
bastards.
in. So when the evil came in, that's when I had to leave. That's when I had to go. But that's just me personally.
Like straight up nasty evil people. Like
moving on. Should we move on? Should we keep it going?
Yes.
We were talking a little bit about the child support things. We got a little relationship topic for y'all. We don't normally cover the relationship topics, but this one is just too easy for us to not cover, dog. Like, so Glorilla came and she was talking with her fans, and she said something that may disturb some of you guys, may unsettle some of you guys. I'm gonna play it for you guys right now.
But this is a topic that I'd never spoke on before that may ruffle a lot of feathers. And some people may want to fight about it. But it's the topic on the 50-50 with a relationship. Me, personally, I feel like you supposed to go 50-50 with your nigga, because if a nigga just gets you to the point where like you just feel like you don't gotta do nothing, like he gonna make you lazy and shit, and as a woman you should want to have your own shit going. You shouldn't want it to be where if a nigga leave you today, he was paying all the bills and now you got this big ass weight on your shoulders. You shouldn't want that.
Period. Right?
It makes complete sense to me because the thing I think is weird is that like people want men, I'm not saying all, but a lot of people want men to be held to certain gender norms, and women are not held to certain gender norms. I feel like if we're going to be moving into the future, we all kind of have to come to a consensus on what the modern standard is. So men paying for everything is reminiscent of a time where women couldn't get certain jobs or they were only allowed to be in the household. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just think it's outdated to expect a man to pay for everything. I feel like both people should have their own thing going on.
No, I agree.
So if you guys ever broke up, I agree with her 100%. If you guys ever broke up, she got her own stuff. It's like you guys just shake hands and walk away. If you guys move together, you move out. Or if you don't live together, y'all just shake hands and go about your day. But it's not like she's dependent on you.
That's the thing. That's the thing that just like, I don't know how you can argue with that. Just that point alone. The fact that why would you want to be tempted, whether you're a man or a woman, in any case, why would you want to be dependent on anybody to pay for your shit? The example she rose was perfect.
There are a lot of guys who live off the women they're dating.
Yeah.
They don't be doing shit. I have a problem with that too.
Yeah.
Not even looking at it from just like a gender norm perspective, just in general. It's just like, you shouldn't be living off your significant other. You should have your own thing going on.
She also said that if you're in the club looking for love, and she's speaking mainly to the straight women, but she was saying if you're looking for a man in the club, you're looking for a dude who's trying to wife you up in the club, you're lost because all he sees is a hoe. What do you think about that? That was the more controversial one.
I agree and disagree because I guess it's like in certain cases, yeah, the dude is like, I don't think necessarily the dude is thinking he's saying a hoe, but I think the men and a lot of women too are thinking this is a place for me to meet someone I find attractive, of significant other, so we can get to business. You know what I mean by that?
You're saying that you're not trying to wife nobody from the club.
Yeah, it's like exactly. It's like old school Tinder was the club.
That's not where you're going to meet wifey. You're not going to the club to meet wifey.
Exactly.
You're going to church.
You're going to smash.
You go to church to be wifey.
Exactly. If you want to meet wifey, you go to church. You go to the library. I'd even say a brewery. I know a brewery is still like a social setting, but it's more chillax.
Yeah.
Like I could see you meeting someone chill.
Anywhere other than the club.
Like a wine tasting, like a culinary class. Well, you already said it. My perception is I'm in a space where people are probably trying to have sex. Period. I'm not thinking anybody's a hoe. I'm just thinking
I'm trying to smash.
Because I'm just trying to smash. Like I don't really see like I don't because I'm not a misogynist. I don't sit and think what makes her a hoe. I don't sit and think about that. Like what would you define that as that without sounding misogynist?
Well, hoe to me is not sexual. Hoe to me is not gender exclusive. A nigga could be a hoe too. I can't say nigga either because nigga is not gender exclusive either. A man could be a hoe. A woman could be a hoe. Non-binary people could be a hoe. Doesn't matter what you identify as gender-wise. Anybody could be a hoe. A hoe just means that somebody is just like super, super sexually provocative with no chance of settling down. That's what a hoe is to me. Just running the streets. And anybody could be that. So when I'm in a club, I'm not necessarily looking at people like, oh, that's a hoe, that's a hoe, that's a hoe, just because they're all flirting and shit like that. No. You have to prove that to me, that the fact that you're a hoe. But I will say that when I'm in the club, I'm not looking for someone that's like, I'm not looking for like I'm looking for a freak. I'm gonna just be dead ass with you. I'm looking for a freak. Like I'm trying to get my dick grinded on. Like
I'm not gonna lie,
I'm trying to hook up in the club and have everybody looking at you. I'm trying to pin you up on the wall, have everybody looking at you.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little open to relationships, but see, that's kind of what Glorilla was saying.
Yeah.
Is that why are you looking for relationships in the club?
Yeah.
Why are you even entertaining a possibility?
And be hurt when the nigga don't respond to you. Like,
no, I don't
my
get
God,
hurt.
I had a one night stand from a guy with the club. Like, obviously. And the guy should be thinking the same ass thing too. Like, anybody, like that's the delusion, right? Like, we have so many delusions nowadays, I feel like, with social media. And I mean, this existed before social media and shit, like club hopping and shit like that. But I'm just saying, like, with younger people now, because that's who she's talking to, I just think that we have it completely twisted of like how relationships are supposed to be naturally inseminated. That's maybe not the best word to use, but.
And is clubbing really as big as it used to be? I mean,
yes, bro. I'd be in the clubs like that. Yes.
I went to like this like really, I guess you could call it a club because it was dancing. It had like a type of like a dope kind of vibe. This bar in Venice, I think it's called
yeah, shout that spot out.
Yeah, there's a bar in Venice. It's called like the Conservatory, the clubhouse, the something. But like it was really popping. But I didn't like, and it was dancing and stuff. But like I didn't feel like it was like a club per se. Like, what is a club?
A club to me is just it's probably got a nice bar and it's just got a whole bunch of people in there. Just a nice venue. That's it. Like people just dancing around, music playing.
A lot of people dancing, music playing. Yeah, it was just like that. I guess that is a club.
Now the girls of rap came out firing this week. Glorilla wasn't the only one that had takes. Glorilla was not the only one that had takes. Saweetie had a take for the ages. Now I like where it's coming from because it's coming from a good place. Now, after the death of Takeoff, after the death of numerous people, bro, numerous rappers in the game, from senseless gun violence, Saweetie said that because of that reason, she thinks that girls should be running rap right now. But most of the headlines just took it, and I think we should probably take it from that angle as well, a little bit more, from the angle that she's talking about the fact that girls are running rap when girls are not really selling like that right now.
It's running rap, and she sold 2K.
I mean, she's not. Yeah, maybe we
triple
should start
toilet
there.
roll.
Maybe we should start there. Like
triple tissue paper.
Is she? This seems like a perfect example of.
I definitely will say that for an era and for a genre that has definitely sidelined the women of the genre, they're on point right now. This is the the highest height they've ever been. And I congratulate them because this is dope. I've been putting out good music.
Oh yeah,
but I'm also like, still got to call cap because a lot of y'all are selling 2K a week. The men are too, but in terms of who's selling the most, it's still the men. Drake is running rap. Period.
I think XXL came out with like the top rap albums of this year, and all of them were men. And there's more men. There's more men in hip hop, so that makes sense. And those men that were featured, the Kendricks, the Drakes, those men have been around for like a decade now. So of course, you're probably not going to be able to, if you're a Meg Thee Stallion or if you're even a Saweetie, you're probably not going to be able to edge out those top acts. They've been around for too fucking long, and they're better. I mean, they're just better.
Yeah, I think they're just better. I will agree that the men just put out a lot of bullshit that just, and I'm sure it's also the labels pushing this nonsense and this violence. There's a lot of this violent music, this drill music and all this stuff. But I'm also like, that's what's selling. Like, I'm just, to be honest with you, I feel like a lot of like, and see, I got to be careful. We might just cut this because we'll see. I'll say it and then we can decide on to cut it or not. But
okay.
I also feel like a lot of the women underestimate how much like the sex appeal sells. Like you see this with female rappers who don't they lean more into their straight raw rapping versus the ones who lean more into the sex appeal. A lot of times they don't really be selling that much. Like, because a lot of dudes are checking in on Instagram and checking in on Twitter and checking in on other stuff.
Not checking the music,
they're not buying the music.
Hell no.
Like Bad Baby. Like she's probably worth $100 million now on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
She did not get that rapping, if you get what I'm trying to say.
I mean, even like keeping it with Saweetie. Saweetie has over, 10 million followers on Instagram?
Something ridiculous.
How are you selling 2,000 units?
2,000 units. That's what I'm trying to say.
Sheesh, bro. So maybe she's just not the messenger that needs to be delivering this message. Maybe that's what it is. Like, are we just killing the messenger at this one? Because if Cardi B or Meg Thee Stallion, had come out and said this,
even Meg, not really, because Meg doesn't really sell that much, but more than Saweetie for sure.
What did her last one sell? Like 100,000 units? Was it even that much?
Nah, bro.
Her last album. Maybe like 80,000 units? First week sales is what I'm talking about.
I think it was
not complete
like
sales.
That. I'm looking it up right now.
Because it wasn't an astounding number.
Traumatized. I think it was 66K.
66K first week. Oh, hell yeah. But 66K is nothing.
But for like the level of like popularity she was getting in commercials and all kinds of eyes that were on her, that's not a lot of people tuning in to hear the music though.
Not at all. Not at all. But this is just first week numbers. We get that. This is just first week numbers. But that is a precedent. That's a metric that we use in order to judge like where are people rocking right now. Especially if you compare that to somebody like Taylor Swift. I know she's on a whole nother level. I get that. But Taylor Swift sold over 1 million units. Am I correct on that? I think she sold over 1 million units her first week.
Something like that. But Taylor is different, bro.
I know she's on another. I'm not trying to compare the two. I'm not trying to compare women. But I know that. But I'm just saying, like, in terms of like what's really hot right now, Meg Thee Stallion, I don't know. But if Cardi B had come out and said this, I probably would have took it with a little bit more gravity, just because of the fact that she actually can move units. I don't know. Like, she actually has a say. Units. She's relevant. I just don't get that one. I don't get that one. And then on top of that, one of the songs on there, and people probably are aware of this because of the whole Joe Budden situation, but one of the songs on there alluded to some of the rumors that we heard prior to Takeoff's passing about her and Offset maybe having a little bit of a thing, a little hookup, and thus being the reason why her and Quavo broke up, thus being the reason why Offset and Quavo and the Migos, yeah, exactly. So that's a messy situation. I don't know if we want to touch on it necessarily. We didn't have that on our topic list. Just throwing it out there is to say, like, Saweetie right now, a little messy, she's not really, she might be trying to do too much. So maybe she's just trying to get that clout out there. A little marketing ploy. Who knows?
I mean, I just think this is too soon, and not even too soon. I just think it's wrong if that's what she's doing. Man is gone. I don't know. Maybe it was an older song and she just didn't think none of it. Or she probably just didn't think it was.
But even if you're still, but it's still just the fact that like even you're trying to play two men against each other still though. That's the fact that like Migos, I mean, not you, Offset and Quavo, I mean, they came up together, bro. You're trying to do something right there, and that's fucked up. Just because you hurt in the situation, the relationship didn't work out for you, like.
But the man is dead, though. Like.
Well, I'm not even saying anything about Takeoff. Just the fact that she's trying to fuck up with the relationship between Quavo and Offset, like those two guys. She's trying to fuck up that relationship as well.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know it's between those two, but I'm like, it's just too soon for that.
Yeah.
Like.
Read the room.
Thought about that.
Yeah, read the room on that one.
Yeah.
And then furthermore, like we were touching on at the beginning, I mean, the rappers are just crazy this week. Boosie came out and said that Jay-Z, is it relevant? Boosie came out and said that Jay-Z is not a relevant rapper right now.
Right
Cap
now,
or fact?
I agree.
Cap or fact?
Fact, right now, fact. In general, complete cap. He has pages in the rap history book. Boosie's a nobody in the rap history book, in the grand scheme of rap.
Now you don't listen to music like that. Like you don't really rush to music like that. But if Jay-Z released something and you heard everybody was talking about how fire it was, you're telling me that you're not gonna go and race to that Jay-Z album?
No, yeah. When I hear albums, like big albums, like when Kendrick dropped, I went to listen to it. Like albums that are like events, like when Jay-Z drops, or like maybe a Rihanna drops, or like a Beyonce drops. Those are events. I go.
So then how is he? Then how are you saying he's not relevant?
No, I just said like he's relevant. I guess if that's the case, then he is relevant. So what I meant, so I agree with that. What I was thinking at the time was that he's not out here making music all the time, but he's a billionaire. He doesn't have to. He drops when he wants to. He drops quality when he wants to. So it's different. It's a different kind of thing. Like a Kendrick and a Tyler and these guys, they could take years to drop albums because they got it like that. They got income streams. But like, who's going out to listen to a Boosie album?
Hell no, not me. Boosie is the one that's irrelevant.
You shouldn't be talking it. You shouldn't be talking if you don't got it like that. Where people will wait 5 years and you still saw all these albums.
Yeah, Boosie is the one that's irrelevant. I hate the fact that there is like these rappers that are like disrespecting the ones that are literally the leaders. It's not even like you're picking on like, 21 Savage could have picked on anybody. Like he could have picked on anybody from this new crop. He could have talked about Lil Baby for all. I don't give a fuck who it was. But you're talking about the ones that are literally the archetype of who y'all niggas came up to be. Nas and Jay-Z are literally.
That's a classic. Literally rap legends.
And then you add Biggie to that.
Whole
That's
era
literally
was
New
literally
York.
Legendary.
That is literally New York rap from that era. So stop.
Exactly.
I don't even know what they're talking about. I really don't
New
get
York
it.
The birthplace of rap, if I remember correctly.
Probably, yeah. Harlem, probably, yeah.
Yeah, definitely is the birthplace of rap.
And they just souring it, soiling it. Shit. They need to stop with that shit.
Like, cause every time I hear about Boosie, he's just in the news for some bullshit. He's either fucking with Lil Nas X, or Lil Nas X is fucking with him, or he's crying about some bullshit, or he's like, my son is. He said, I don't know. He was in some controversy about somebody's son.
Yeah, he did. He took his son to the. I think he like bought a prostitute. I think he got a prostitute to have sex with his 12-year-old son or some shit like that. Craziness, right? He needs to be gone.
I don't even know how this guy is still. He didn't get canceled for that.
They tried. I mean, because he's not relevant, bro. Who gives a fuck about what Boosie is doing? That's why he's not getting canceled. You can't get canceled if you're not relevant. You ain't got nothing to cancel, nigga. There's nothing to cancel. You're like a retired rapper. You don't do shit. You just ride around the clubs in Atlanta. I sound like I'm hating, but that's literally what the nigga does, to my knowledge. All right, what's our next topic?
So our next topic is we got California reparations.
Yes, sir. California reparations. Walk us through that.
So basically, reparations task force was created in California to provide reparations for people of African descent, FBA, freedmen, descendants of chattel slaves, for housing discrimination specifically. And for a while, I've been following it. For a while, they were trying to get a distinction on who was actually owed reparations. So there's a lot of arguments between, is it all black people or African people, or is it just people descendants of chattel slavery? And that was settled to be anybody born anyone born in the 1800s, before the 1900s, who happens to be black, gets the housing discrimination reparations. And basically what's going on now is that the task force is recommending checks of over 200K. It's in the 200K range.
Yeah, it's like 220.
Handed out to people who qualify in that range, that distinction they decided a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm. And so this is just a proposition. This is just a proposition.
This is not. I swear to God, it's not gonna happen because there's too many haters. There's too many people. Everybody else gets reparations and payments. Everybody else gets their reparations and payments, and they'll tell you, "Well, I wasn't in line for that." It's like, well, my mother was born in Jim Crow, so how are you gonna deny that one?
They'll say it was too long ago.
I saw a guy
years ago.
Yeah, I saw a guy on Twitter where they argued him down to the point where mass incarceration, Jim Crow, redlining, all that happened while all these people are still very much alive. Well, you have to kill me. I'm not giving you anything. I'll go to my death. So that's how serious it is.
It's very serious, but I'm pretty sure
once you have completely ended the argument on him, they'll just say, "I'd rather die and we'll kill you over it."
Goodness gracious.
That's really what it is, though. It has nothing to do with you being right or wrong about it. It's just we don't believe in you getting any type of restitution for how you were wrong, regardless of how you've proven that we owe or not.
Well, I love the fact that they even brought it up. I mean, because we have to
just housing discrimination.
We
not
have
even
to have
slavery.
And then to bring it
mass incarceration, Jim Crow.
To even put it in that context, because everybody always thinks. I think most people, when they think of reparations for black people, they always think of reparations because of slavery, not understanding that there are numerous other
the GI Bill, redlining, and
there are numerous other forms of oppression and discrimination throughout the history of the United States.
Police brutality.
So I do like that they're taking it from that angle. I do like that because that probably awakens a lot of people's eyes to something that they didn't know. And are we gonna get it? No. I don't know exactly.
No, people are too emboldened in their racism. It doesn't matter how you argue them down. They're just gonna say, I'm not paying you shit while giving money to Ukraine, while giving money to Japanese people reparations, Native Americans reparations, and funding.
All the people that need the funding. Yet for the people that need the funding on your home turf, domestic, seems to be a problem there, right? Always something to block that, to stand in the way of that, right? Always a justification as to the reason why it can't be.
And letting y'all know now, I'm not arguing with y'all in the comments. I'm not even gonna look at them this time because I know when it comes to reparations, you'll never see a liberal become a conservative faster. That is, people are just it's not even just white people.
No,
people are just unanimously.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that
blacks don't deserve anything.
I'm pretty sure they've ran national polls on this, and I think the number is around like 60% of people, like 6 out of 10 people, don't think that black people should have reparations. I don't know if that's the way that they.
Group, I promise you, the number would be different.
Say that one more time.
If you ask about any other group, I guarantee that the opinion will be different.
Could be.
Anti-blackness is just accepted. That's just the lay of the land. You're not supposed to have anything. It's one of the biggest reasons why we don't have universal health care is because we don't want the blacks to get it. That's real. That's real talk. There are countless videos of even white people admitting that. They have family members who even told them, I'd rather die then vote for universal health care because the blacks will get it.
All right, what's our next topic?
Indiana Jones.
We got a whole list of trailers to go down, y'all. A whole list of trailers. We're not doing any breakdown per se. We're just gonna react to them. Just give our thoughts. All right, we're starting with Indiana Jones, number 5. Right, number 5. Indiana Jones and the Dial of. I lost the word. What is it?
Dial of Destiny.
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Now, how trash is this movie gonna really be? All right. Let's not start there.
Apparently, there was a plot spoiler, and I almost read it, and I changed my mind. It got leaked, apparently.
I'll probably go and read it after this because I need a reason to go watch this movie. Because I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I'm not gonna go watch this movie in theaters. Let me explain why. Before I get the hate, they already tried to make a movie with old Harrison Ford. It did not work.
It's crazy that we were children. That movie came out too.
Yeah, I think we were around like
elementary school with that movie.
Yeah, we were probably like 8, 9, 10 years old. They already tried it, did not work. So you can say, hey man, that was like a decade ago. Like, give them another chance. Technology has improved because they're gonna do the whole de-aging thing, not just on Harrison Ford, but I think on one of the other villains. And sure, you make a good point there. But do you really think that Disney is going to do anything out of the ordinary what they normally do? Besides to show you all the good nostalgia that you want to see and all the good callbacks that you want to see, and then leave it at that? There's not going to be anything really like how much are you expecting this movie to really impress you?
Nah, it's going to be a call. It's one of those cash grab nostalgia movies, I think.
Yeah.
And the reason I was saying damn a second ago, because I'm looking up his name. He's 80. God damn, which makes sense because he was old in that last movie when we were children.
Yes, dude. Yes, I'm telling you.
He's 80 years old. God damn.
I just don't know
I think anti-aging is going to get to the point where age's not going to mean shit in a couple decades, but that's a side note.
He's going to look good. When I watched the trailer, it did look a little iffy, but that could just be my television screen. I don't know. But it's going to look good. The de-aging has already been looking good. I was completely fine. I think the first time I saw them actually like make giant leaps in the de-aging tech was in Rogue One when they did Princess Leia and they de-aged her.
They do Princess Leia. Another one was
recently
what's another one?
In The Mandalorian they did Luke Skywalker.
They did that one was fire.
They did Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
It was great. It looked amazing. They've probably done it in other bunch of movies that aren't just Disney. But those are the two main ones that I look at and I'm like, oh, okay. Like the technology looks good these days. So I'm not necessarily going to like critique that. I'm not going to pick on that. But just in terms of overall, I'm not going to go watch this movie. I don't expect anything great from this movie.
I'm not going to lie. If I want to see a movie for the weekend and ain't shit to watch, I'm going to see this movie. But that's how I am though.
That's how most people are now because most of the movies that are in theaters are ass.
Yeah.
The next one we have is Guardians 3. Now, that's a movie that I can actually get behind. That's a movie I can actually get behind.
This is like, you already know it's going to be one of the best Phase 5 or MCU in a minute. Black Panther was dope.
Does this, this is going to be the
third
Phase 5 movie?
Yeah, I think it's going to be the third or the fourth. I think it's going to be third, though, because I think it's Kang comes out next. Ant-Man comes out next, and then I think it's Guardians.
Okay,
if I remember correctly.
Cool. Okay, so that sets it up beautifully because we got a cameo in this one. We got a face, not brand new, but we got a new face, Adam Warlock
for
the comic book fans.
Forget the actor's name, but he was in. He played the galley in Maze Runner.
Pretty good actor. Good actor that's casted as Adam Warlock.
I like him in everything he's in, man. I feel like
he's a good actor.
Like he does a great job.
He's a good actor.
Yeah.
What are you excited the most about for this movie?
I love the Guardians, man. I feel like the Guardians movies are like MCU comedy perfected, I think. Because it, like you said, like it leans into the comedies very, very hard, but it does it well. But it also can get serious and sad as well.
Yeah.
Like they can really balance it well. Like most Marvel movies cannot balance it. Like Thor was not a movie that should have been. Thor wanted to be Guardians and it failed miserably because of the tone. Like it's a Thor movie. It should have been. I know Thor's an idiot and they're leaning in that direction, but like Gore the God Butcher, that should have been a sad movie.
Yeah.
That dude should have been wiping people out.
Yes.
Like his homie, I forget her name, but she lost her arm. Like he should have killed her.
Yeah.
Like it should have been a whole revenge movie. Like could have been some comedy in there, but it should have been a dark movie.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
But like they just kind of made it stupid. But like Guardians can do the same thing, and it does it well. I feel like because the cast is so solid, and it's not just Thor being an idiot on screen. It's like a whole cast of characters bouncing off each other, fooling each other, you know, testing each other in interesting ways while also facing the threat. Like it's great chemistry. It works. Like in the trailer, I don't know, man. The trailer was really sad because it looked like Rocket was going to die.
That's what we're going to get to next.
No confirmation.
Let's get to it.
But yeah.
So it looks like someone is going to die in this movie. Someone will die. Who do you think it will be?
I think Drax, but it's probably Rocket.
What's your case for Drax? Because I'll take the case of Rocket. What's your case for Drax?
I just feel like they're being too obvious with Rocket dying. That it's probably a bait and switch. I'm just guessing on Drax. He's the only one I feel like who could probably die. Maybe Mantis. Because I don't know if I can tell you something from the special if you want to watch it. But there's a small little tidbit about Mantis that was revealed. Nothing like super major.
Say it for the people that are watching.
Mantis is Star-Lord's sister. She never told him that Ego was her dad.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
That was like the little big reveal in the special. So they dropped it in the beginning. She was like, "Oh well, he's actually my brother," and it's like, "I want to do something nice for him for Christmas." And then he told her at the end, and it was like a big happy moment. That he said, "Oh, I got a sister."
Huh.
So it could be interesting for her to die off. And he's like, "Damn, I thought he was like, damn, I thought I had no family left, and then it got taken away from me."
Yeah.
Could go that direction. Drax, I feel like will be sad, but what else does he have to do? I mean, Thanos is dead.
But Drax is like, I guess the kind of like he is the humor of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Without him, they're not the same. Is there any comic book precedent to who can possibly die?
I don't know anything about Guardians. Guardians was like not even on the map until the movies. Like nobody would give a fuck about Guardians.
Okay, let's research that. Let's research that. We'll do that on our own. But I think that Rocket's going to be the one to die. Yes, it was very obvious they were trying to make you think that. I understand that. It's clear that he's going to get an origin story. We know that when people get a little bit of an origin, that means that something's coming to an end. Beginnings always are met with the ends.
Well, yeah, because they're getting ready to close their arc.
And the shots that they were showing of Rocket just seemed too consistent with like showing the flashbacks. We're jogging back the memory of his life. Oh, this is the end. It just seems like they're going to try to tie the knot on his story. And on top of that, we have Groot's son, the new Groot. There's a scene in there where Rocket seems to be like, you know, looking through his flashback world, and then they show Groot with a little bit of an audio track over Rocket's face. I'm being long-winded with it, but it just seems like they're tying that story too much. It just has to be Rocket that dies. That's what I think. But it is a little bit obvious.
Really Rocket?
It is a little bit.
I'd be disappointed if I went to the theaters and Rocket died. Like y'all ruined the fucking movie.
Yeah, I don't want any of them to die really, but it looks like someone's gonna die because Peter Quill was there screaming at someone. Maybe they don't die. Maybe we're just being cynical about it.
Maybe we're just being cynical. But I think, what about Adam Warlock? I mean, we've been waiting, bro. I mean, Adam Warlock, people have been waiting for.
I honestly forgot about him. I've
been hearing about Adam Warlock since like the earlier movies, like Phase 2, Phase 3.
Well, because he was at the end of Guardians, wasn't he? Guardians 2.
He was at the end of Guardians 2. Those like the golden people were making him, who was like, they stole their batteries and they were like on their ass the whole movie.
I don't think that
they didn't forget.
Adam Warlock is really going to be there for anything except for setting up Secret Wars a little bit more.
Probably, yeah.
So other than that, I really don't know what to expect from him. I'm not familiar with Adam Warlock from the comics or anything like that. I don't know his storylines besides Infinity War and Secret Wars. They brought him in for around Infinity War time, didn't use him, so now they're bringing him around Secret Wars time. Probably going to use him. Period.
Yeah.
And I think that's all we got. Should we move on to top tier D-cuts?
Let's move on to D-cuts.
All right.
What? I didn't say anything.
Huh? Hey, I forgot Andre 3000 was on the track. It should be by design by Andre 3000, not by Kid Cudi.
Yeah.
If anybody could have saw me when I was when we were playing the music, I only bopped my head when Andre 3000 was on. I fucking hate Kid Cudi right now, man. He's just not it right now, man. But that was a good song. I can't lie. That is a good song. That is a good song.
Don't fuck with the Feng Shui.
Yeah, that part is really nice. That part is really nice. I'm not even gonna say anything. Can't cap. Can't cap. But y'all already know what time it is. It is time for us to depart. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this was episode 33 of the podcast. And we will catch you guys next week.
We will catch you guys next time.
Peace.